The number one best way to reverse insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is one of the biggest health problems in the world and is the culprit behind stubborn belly fat, sugar cravings and diabetes, chronic fatigue and tiredness, and even high blood pressure. Today, I want to teach you a foolproof set of steps to reverse insulin resistance naturally so your body can begin burning fat for energy and your blood sugars can go back to normal. Step 1. Reduce how often you eat. The reason people have insulin resistance in the first place is because they eat too often and keep insulin levels high all day long. The only way to reverse insulin resistance is by lowering insulin levels and eating fewer meals per day. Start to eat just 2 whole nutritious meals per day without any snacks or drinks other than water in between. This gives time for your insulin levels to drop, allowing your cells to become sensitive again. Over time, your sugar cravings will go away, you'll lose weight, and your blood sugars will normalize. Step 2. Apple cider vinegar. Insulin resistance actually starts in your liver, so one of the best ways to fix it is by improving liver function. Drink 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar mixed in a glass of water before each of your 2 meals with a straw. Apple cider vinegar stimulates bile flow, helping to clean out the liver of fatty deposits and toxins. The acetic acid slows the digestion of carbohydrates to prevent blood sugar spikes that overload the liver. Gradually, as your liver repairs itself, your insulin resistance starts to go away. 3. Reduce carbohydrates. The third, extremely important step is to break your foods down into 3 categories: carbs, proteins, and fats. Carbohydrates squeeze more insulin out of your pancreas more than any other food, and your goal is to reduce this. So start filling your plate with unprocessed meats, eggs, and fish as your main fuel source to get your proteins and fats. And then swap out starchy carbs like bread, rice, pasta, grains or potatoes with low-carb, non-starchy vegetables like broccoli, bell peppers, cauliflower, arugula, salad and other greens. You want to avoid sugars at all costs from fruit juices, processed snacks, granola bars, sweet fruits and flavoured yogurts. By reducing your carbohydrates, your insulin levels will drop naturally, allowing the insulin receptors in your cells to start healing, essentially fixing insulin resistance. Now, if you were to stop right there and just continue doing those 3 steps over and over again consistently, your insulin resistance would naturally go away over time. However, if you want to heal insulin resistance faster and make it easier, there are some additional things that you can do. Like number 4, increase potassium. Aim to get at least 4,700 milligrams of potassium per day to help your cells produce energy without relying on high insulin levels. Most people assume that bananas are a good source of potassium, but they're actually high in starch, which can spike blood sugar and reduce potassium absorption. Instead, you should focus on potassium-rich foods like leafy greens, avocados, wild-caught salmon and pumpkin seeds. You may also supplement with potassium citrate at around 2,000 milligrams per day to help reverse insulin resistance faster. 5. Increase magnesium. Magnesium is the single most important mineral to help insulin work properly by moving sugar into your cells from your blood. But most people are deficient in it due to eating processed foods, stress, and poor soil quality. Low magnesium can cause you to have muscle cramps, poor sleep, and blood sugar spikes. You can fix this very easily by eating more pumpkin seeds, almonds, avocados and leafy greens, or you can take a supplement called magnesium glycinate, which contains at least 400 milligrams of elemental magnesium per day. 6. Do the right type of exercise. Exercise is also one of the fastest ways to reverse insulin resistance because it forces your muscles to pull sugar out of the blood, lowering insulin levels naturally. But not all exercise is equal. Cardio alone doesn't do much for insulin resistance. What you need is strength training. Begin lifting weights or doing body weight exercises like squats, push-ups or lunges to help your muscles burn through that stored sugar. Even by just walking for 10 to 15 minutes after a meal can dramatically reduce blood sugar spikes. Aim for at least 3 strength training sessions per week and some daily walking to speed up the healing process. 7. Get enough sleep. When you sleep less than 7 hours per night, your body produces more cortisol, a stress hormone that raises blood sugar and makes insulin resistance worse. Even just one bad night of sleep can make your cells less responsive to insulin by up to 30%, increasing cravings and leaving you with lower energy for days. So begin improving your sleep quality to help stabilize blood sugar and lower insulin. You should avoid screens and blue light at least an hour before bed, keep the bedroom cool and dark to boost melatonin production, and if you want to, use your magnesium glycinate supplement before bed to relax your nervous system. By fixing your sleep, you naturally lower insulin levels, reduce cravings, and improve fat-burning metabolism. 8. Avoid processed seed oils. One of the worst things for insulin resistance is eating processed seed oils like soybean, canola, corn, or margarine. These oils are found in fast foods, fried foods, packaged snacks, salad dressings, and even the so-called healthy plant-based spreads. The problem is, seed oils are highly inflammatory, damaging your cells and making them insulin resistant. They also contribute to fatty liver, which, as we discussed earlier, is where insulin resistance begins. To reverse this, switch to healthier fats like extra virgin olive oil, grass-fed butter, raw coconut oil, and avocado oil. Start to cook and prepare your own healthy meals at home, and you will rapidly lower inflammation, heal your liver, and improve the health of your insulin receptors. Now, number 9 is reduce inflammation. To fully reverse insulin resistance, you need to lower inflammation at the cellular level. One of the best ways to do this is by increasing omega-3 fatty acids, which help repair your cell membranes and restore insulin function. You can eat more wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, canned cod liver, and grass-fed meat, or take a high-quality algal oil supplement, and I'll put a link below to one of my favorites. Zinc is also essential as it regulates insulin production and lowers inflammation. You can get this from oysters, beef, pumpkin seeds, eggs, mussels, sea kelp, and liver. Boosting your antioxidants also helps. Turmeric, ginger, and quercetin-rich foods like onions and capers can reduce inflammation. And for a bit of extra support, a supplement called berberine works similarly to metformin in stabilizing blood sugar, but it's natural and doesn't have the side effects. Step number 10, raise your vitamin D. People with insulin resistance need higher doses of vitamin D to support the health of the beta cells that make insulin in the pancreas. Low vitamin D levels have been linked to insulin resistance, higher cortisol, increased inflammation, and poor blood sugar control. So to fix this, you should take at least 10,000 international units of vitamin D3 per day, ideally with 100 micrograms of vitamin K2. You can also just get vitamin D from sunlight by spending at least 20 to 30 minutes outside daily with skin exposure. When your vitamin D levels are optimized, your body lowers cortisol, improves insulin function, and reduces inflammation. It also helps to naturally bring your blood pressure into the normal range because of its ability to relax and widen your arteries. Testing for insulin resistance. As you begin following some of the steps provided in this video, you may want to check to see if your insulin resistance is healing. You could ask your doctor to do a HOMA IR test to measure fasting insulin and fasting blood sugar. As you follow these steps, your HOMA IR score should go down over time, showing that your body is becoming more insulin sensitive. But really, you don't need to take a test to know if you're improving, you can just listen to your body. Signs you are reversing insulin resistance. Your energy levels are going up and your mental focus improves as more fuel enters your brain cells. You also start to feel less hungry because your cells are now making more energy and your blood sugars are normalizing. Your blood pressure may also begin to normalize itself as the inner walls of your arteries begin to relax and blood flow is improved. The visceral belly fat around your organs and the fat stored in your liver begins burning off as insulin becomes more sensitive. And you'll also feel more satisfied after a meal and those cravings for sweets start to disappear. Remember, the only way to reverse insulin resistance is by lowering insulin levels, and the easiest and cheapest way to do this is by reducing the frequency of eating and reducing your carbs to as low as you possibly can. Certain nutrients like magnesium, potassium, zinc, chromium and vitamin D also target the beta cells of the pancreas to improve the quality of the insulin that's in your body. Insulin resistance is fully reversible when you correct the bad eating habits and improve your lifestyle. So to summarize, the number one best method to reverse insulin resistance is to reduce how often you eat, use apple cider vinegar before meals, reduce your carbs to lower your blood sugars and insulin, increase potassium, increase magnesium, build up your muscles with strength training, get enough sleep, avoid processed seed oils, reduce inflammation with omega-3s and antioxidants, and raise vitamin D to support healthy insulin sensitivity. If you want to do this, it's very important to plan out your meals and eat the right foods to prevent insulin resistance from getting worse,